guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episode 3. What are your thoughts on the season so far? I personally am very much enjoying it. I think they did a good job casting this season. I think there's lots of potential for drama and storylines so far. I'm really enjoying Julia. I just find her interesting, and I like learning her backstory in the USSR, and I like seeing her life with Martina. I find her fascinating, so I think she's a great addition to the cast. I can't believe all the stuff we're learning about Alexia. It's fascinating, and yeah, so far so good. I'm excited to be here and covering it. Let's get into this episode. So the episode picks up with Alexia telling the story about Frankie passing out at the table and the reason that Peter and her fiance Todd don't get along. So remember, it had to do with Peter and what he was doing. I can't say it here on YouTube. It's hard to talk about, but it's a wild story, you guys. I still have so much trouble. There's just so much wrong with it to me. Just the fact that she's letting Peter decide how much Frankie needs and letting him do it at the house. And then this, the things that Todd said to Peter. I just am not a fan of Peter. We'll just leave it at that. I think Peter sucks. He's not a kid anymore, so I can say he completely sucks. And I don't like him. On a very funny side note, during all this, the producer points out that Alexia and Lisa are twinning in the pink bubblegum outfits. I don't know, Alexia, I think she's a beautiful woman. I don't love this look on her. She's almost giving me the Married to the Mob Leah kind of look. So remember, they're having this sushi dinner over at Nicole's house, and Lisa is very confused over crab balls. She doesn't understand that they're balls of crab. She thinks it's literal crab's balls. Yikes. So Alexia reveals a very interesting story about her dad that she didn't find out until after her father had passed away, that he was gay. And now she's dealing with this with Herman as well. She didn't know until he passed away that I don't know if he considered himself gay, but he had a lover. Marysol has a great line here where she says, "This is a bomb," but that's all of Alexia's life. There's a line at the end of dinner where Adriana says she heard that Herman passed away having sex with a man. And Alexia says that's how she'd like to go too. Then we go over to Larsa's house. And you guys, every time I tell myself, okay, let me just try to be a little nicer about Larsa. I'm trying here. I really am. I just can't. I'm sorry. But this is horrible. But I just think she always looks so cheap. I don't understand it. She loves to talk about money and how much she's making. But the hair, the outfit, the makeup, I just think she looks cheap. This outfit looks like something you'd buy in a Las Vegas store, right? Like, it's not working for me. So originally she and Scotty bought this house for $12 million. He's hoping to sell it for $14 million. They talk about the way it'll work. They don't have a prenup, so they'll just split the profits down the middle. She makes jokes about icing his balls. Who cares? Let's move on. Alexia meets with Guerdy, who, as we know, is planning her wedding. Guerdy basically says normally she wouldn't take this on. But because of Alexia, she's going to do it for her. Alexia's trying to decide about having both her sons walk her down the aisle and trying to decide if it's going to be outdoor or indoor. We find out later that it sounds like there's turmoil because of the whole Peter thing and her fiance not getting along, and she doesn't want to go through with it until she knows everybody's in a good place. Sometimes I'm hard on Alexia. I go hot and cold with her. There's parts of her that bug me. But I do feel for her. That's a lot to take on all at once. Nicole and Lisa decide to meet up with their kids and go to the pool. Lisa says she loves Nicole because she's real. I find that funny because, I'm sorry, but Lisa is one of the most plastic-looking people I've ever seen. So the fact that she's calling somebody real really made me laugh. Nicole's been with Anthony for 5 years. Lisa asks about the situation. It is funny. They talk about, Nicole and Anthony both talk about how happy they are. They don't need to get married. They're fine being partners, but yet that's all they can talk about. So I feel like it's just a storyline or something. It feels forced or weird. If you're really happy with it, why are you talking about it over and over? This isn't like This isn't the time where people are forced to get married anymore. You can do what you want to do, and if they're happy, great. We find out some really interesting stuff about Nicole's dad. So she was 10 years old when he was arrested. It was for conspiracy and money laundering, and she says that he had given them a very comfortable life, and then it was all seized by the FBI. So he did 7 years, and her mother had to take care of them, and times were really tough. So she talks about that. It's just interesting to see that side of her and to learn about that. Alexia has done so much for Pride, so they're honoring her at the Pride event. I love Marysol here. When she gets those lollipops, it really makes me laugh. She loves it there. At Julia, it talks about in the USSR, they didn't have anything like that, so she's so happy that she can be who she wants to be and love who she wants. Marysol's looking around for the Herman special friend, and we find out Larsa has no idea what LGBT is or how to put the letters in order. So Julia and Adriana are dancing, and they're really dancing on each other, and everyone's like, ooh, it's too hot for us. Marysol says she's only known to Adriana to like the D. Maybe she likes boobies. She calls it sexual pantomime, which really made me laugh. Julia says Martina enjoys the show as long as it stays only flirt, nothing more. Alexa's on stage, she says, knowing that her dad and Herman would be so proud of her. From here, we go to the farm with Julia and Martina. Before Martina, Julia says she liked boys and girls. She's never had a soulmate before. Then we go over to Alexa and Frankie. She's having Marysol and Kiki over. Now, remember, Marysol and Kiki previously had a tiff. Funny enough, it was over goats and how you milk them. But they've made up, and Marysol says she really likes Kiki now. She says Alexia says Johnny's been texting her. Remember, so Johnny is her assistant. He's been texting that man that Herman was allegedly hooking up with. He texted a week ago. Johnny texts this morning that the man is available on Monday to meet if she wants to meet him. And Alexia says it'll give her closure, and she wants to know if they were in love and if they were happy. Martina's getting ready for her show. She looks at Julia and says, that's a lot of cleavage, holy crap. And she doesn't want to be late to her own show. Julia has a really funny line where she's laughing and saying she's all colorful and Martina's plain. We see Adriana with her boyfriend Jacob, supposedly their boyfriend-girlfriend. I don't know about that, and the reason I say that is because she has another date show up later. So they've been together for about 2 months. They don't sleep together because she says she makes them wait 4 months. She's curated this show for Martina. She's honored to be the first person to create a solo show for her. Hopes that Martina will love it. Julia says she wishes Adriana had told her that she was bringing a date. I want to know how she felt about second date too. Adriana says it's cute that Julia's jealous. Everyone's mingling and talking about the art. Alexia's fiance making jokes with Nicole's partner about not getting engaged at his wedding. Adriana's date number 2 shows up. I cannot say his name. I cannot remember it, and I can't pronounce it even if I could. Nicole says she's confused because Adriana seems more into chicks. Julia says that it's not a dating party. It's about selling my wife's art, and I'm annoyed. So she's pushing my buttons really well. So there's definitely a feud brewing there. Adriana says, thank you all for coming tonight. It's Pride Month, and I couldn't think of a better artist to embody what Pride means. Martina gives a speech, kisses Julia. Adriana seems to be jealous about that. But overall, I really did like the art. I thought Martina came up with something very clever. She took the sport she's known for, and she turned it into art, and that's amazing. A couple of people were looking at buying pieces at the show, so it seemed like a very successful, fun event. Then we go to the cliffhanger part of the episode. Alexia's at lunch. She's waiting for Herman's guy to show up. We find out his name is Leo. She wants to know more about him and what all went down. She wants him to share what Herman was thinking through all of this. She calls Johnny her assistant, who's the one who's been texting Leo, and says he's not there yet. He's late. She's nervous, and that's how we get to be continued. We do see a flash to next time. Looks like Julia's having a birthday. Martina's not very happy about Adriana giving Julia a foot rub, or maybe it was the other way around. Guerdy and Adriana seem like that they are going to blows in this episode, so I'm here for that. I want to see what they're fighting about and what's going on. That is it for the episode. Again, I'm really enjoying the season so far. These episodes are a joy to cover. They're a lot of fun to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying them too. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and just a safe, wonderful holiday. And I will talk to you guys again soon. I got Emily in Paris coming out the next 2 days, so check those out. Even if you don't watch the show, watch my recaps because they're a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments and support. I appreciate every single one of you so very much. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.